So, do you know who Aileen Wuornos is?
I heard.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I
what
heard
do you know about her?
She's a serial killer, right?
She's serial killer, prostitute. Yeah.
They were brutal to her. Yeah. That's why she started.
She didn't take no shit.
Thank you. That's the one that was murdering all those men.
Right.
Did you know we're named after Aileen Wuornos?
I didn't know that until I asked.
Okay.
What is Aileen's?
A place where you can be heard.
It's just an awesome place that you can go to and get support and from basic necessities to like girl on girl fucking, I don't know, friendship or I don't know, support. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
They put that good pressure on me to be me, to be happy, to be what I'm born to be.
What I was thinking about T is like in the beginning how you were worried it would never work out with Aileen.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I learned how to I learned how to not slap a bitch so quick now. I literally can talk to my hand and say, no, not today. And I have not slapped no bitches since I've been with Aileen.
Except the one she wasn't Aileen.
Can you buy one more time? Have the money in my purse. I know, I got my drink. I got my drink.
Say hi, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
What you cooking, lady?
Deviled egg.
Oh, delicioso. She said, what you doing to me? Oh, she gave me the evil look. Run away, run away, run away.
You miss me, don't you?
The antics and shenanigans of Tanya. She don't want to look. Let's start sweeping now. The dish is already done. Clean up and start changing trash. Remind me next week to bring the mop bucket here. We had pizza today. Misty, yeah. She's taking a nap. I gotta get her up. I gotta get her up. Hey. Hey. Rebecca? Rebecca?
She's alive?
Yeah, she's alive.
Here we have it. The Swisher guts.
Yep, they smoke.
This is what it comes down to
Recycled
at
tobacco.
Eileen's. When we first started, we used to buy cigarettes, huh, Trace?
Yep.
We used to buy cigarettes and have them at
That's what
Eileen's.
drew people
To
in.
lure people in. Yeah, that's how we got them.
So this is what I like because it shows me like that right there with the sound
Okay.
on the Pro version. So Lisa has the same thing, so that's cool. So look,
I don't think so. Have you guys seen a 9-volt battery?
this is what the
No. They're like the little square battery that goes in the smoke detector.
Actually, you wanna go have a cigarette with me?
I don't have any with me.
Shut your mouth.
Okay.
You know me better than that.
Okay, honey. Sure, let's go.
Okay.
I don't offer if I don't have. Give me a second.
Oh no. Tanya and I, we have a very interesting friendship. And I'm a little, don't tell you I'm a bitch, but I'm the nicest bitch you'll ever fucking meet.
I know.
But I'm extremely protective of my friends.
Uh-huh.
Extremely protective. I may be blind, but that don't mean a motherfucking thing. 'Cause I'll still beat somebody's ass.
Listen.
Justice. Hey. Hello, ladies and persons. We're packing up here. We have condoms here, including non-latex upon request. And then Nice. these are feminine hygiene
and
kits.
then below it will be the tampon ones.
Okay. And then we have socks for folks,
And underwear for
underwear, all sorts of different kinds of underwear. So yeah, this is great. You guys are getting everything ready, and we're gonna go out on our outreach tonight. And
we're making this video about Eileen Wuornos.
Yes.
And so we want to get some video tonight if we can.
Bikini or thong?
I don't think we have thong.
Oh, we don't have thong.
Bikini is fine.
We're down to bikini only right now.
Do you want condoms or day after pill?
No, bikini.
And then we have tampons or pads. You want
Tampons, please.
Okay.
The
And then
tampons
do you
have a
want
few
any
pads in them.
toothbrushes or
Okay.
hygiene items?
I got all that.
All that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Friday night. Not much going on around here though. Hi. How are you?
Inside this bag.
I'm taking a video. Do you care? Oh no.
Why are you videotaping?
It's for
We got a grant to make a video about Eileen's, and it's about Eileen Wuornos. Yeah. So Jessica, would you be interested in being interviewed a little bit for our movie?
I guess.
Oh, are you sure? Okay. And do you know anything about Eileen Wuornos?
I know that she's a serial killer.
Okay.
And she was working as a prostitute. And I think that she wasn't treated very fairly. And she got sick and tired of it and said, you know what? I'm going to kill these guys. She's awesome.
Well, because we're thinking of the idea of like the bad date. And every one of them was like a bad date.
Yeah.
But she said she did it to the ones that treated her wrong. Right? And so, have you ever had any bad date that you've had to deal with?
I have had a bad date. It was actually a guy in Tacoma. I would always ask them to send me a picture of themselves just so I know what they look like, you know?
Okay.
So that's weird that like they know what I look like, but I have no clue what they look like.
Right.
And the guy was about my age.
Okay.
And he had been drinking. I remember he had a bottle of Fireball, and he had asked me if I wanted to drink, and you know I don't drink. I said no. I kind of wish I did because he wouldn't have gotten so drunk, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so like during my date, I normally tell them that like my boyfriend's outside and that he'll call me at some point during the date, and I don't know if it's gonna be 10 minutes in the date, 30 minutes, but if he calls, I have to answer.
Right.
And so, if I don't answer, he's gonna come in and he, it's not gonna be pretty. So everything was fine, the first 45 minutes or so. But then I remember I was laying on my stomach and he was on top of me, and I told him that I'm not into the whole Greek culture. But he kind of forced himself on me, and he was covering my mouth, telling me to shut up, and he pretty much told me that he wasn't going to stop until I cried. I had a taser, I had pepper spray, I even had brass knuckles, but when you're face down into a bed, it's hard to reach for those kind of things,
That's right.
And so there really wasn't anything I could do, but just hope that it was over.
Survive through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, I kind of stopped working for a little bit, and I was really scared to do alcohols.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
If you would have gotten a weapon, would you have used it?
Yeah, definitely.
Right there, see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can see why we look up to people like Eileen, though. I think a lot of us have just dealt with the bullshit for so long, and then we try to look to other systems to help us, and then they just fuck us. But we band together as a community, and maybe Eileen didn't have that, but there's outlaws. It's nice to have someone just be like, man, that person really didn't take it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that about her.
Yep, Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yep. Shit, if I had the balls to fucking think about all the bad dates I've been on, I've been on, you know what I mean? Shit. I'd be a lot of motherfuckers dead if I had the balls to do it. Because there's a lot of sick, cool people out there. There's fucking sicko and weirdos and rapos, and they just get away with it. They get away with, and just to do it to the next girl, you know what I mean? And if they would just be eliminated, then you wouldn't.
So what did you hear about what happened, about why she did it and stuff?
If I remember correctly, First off, she was just tired of men using her and using her, but she was trying to take care of her old lady, wasn't she?
Yeah,
that's
that was
how it
part
kind of
it.
started.
She said about it is that it was every one of them was self-defense. So she said that the 2 raped her and 5 tried to rape her out of the 7.
Yeah, I remember now. That was she was pretty much they were brutal to her. Yeah, that's why she started.
Yeah.
I know they made a movie of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called Monster.
Yeah, she literally, like, she got, you know, like, raped and she was actually gay. She was dating with this girl, like, you know what I mean? And
her girlfriend just really wanted to go out to the bars all the time, and so they'd go out to the bars a lot. If she ever, like, brought up anything that happened, like, her girlfriend just didn't want to hear it.
And snitch. Yeah, and she ended up snitching on her and some more shit was
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this girl was literally like killing motherfuckers left and right to take care of her, and she was just blowing all this money and then acting like she didn't know what was going on.
And would just, like, tell her that, like, oh, I don't want to hear it, but basically just get back out there and, you know, work because I need more money. Yeah.
But she literally would go meet these guys, and then she'd go do that and hit a point where she started getting flashbacks of, like, her being raped, and she'd just kill him. And then she fucked up because she killed a cop. She killed a retired cop. And so she fucked up and didn't realize that until after he was already shot. So she was like screwed, and that's when shit started going downhill. Like,
But that's a shame because, you know, what's a cop doing out there getting a prostitute anyways? You know, they're the ones arresting us for it, but they're going to come and use us too?
Exactly.
Yeah, she was cold.
So what do you think about what she did?
Why?
What do I think? Honestly, in this day and age, like, I'm on the fence. It is intense. It is very. Because, I mean, depending on the situation, if that really was the actions that did occur, then if you're in a life or death situation, you got to go about and doing to protect yourself.
That's right.
But if it's like something recurring and you're not, you know, you're trying to do that to get away with it, then you got to pay the price, you know. And just like prostitutes now, like, they consider us just trash, really, because of the fact is nobody's worried about you, nobody's thinking about you, nobody even knows you're missing, nobody even knows that you're doing what you're doing. So, you know, that's just easy for them to be like, okay, well, disregard that, just like the Green River Killer.
There you go. We're named after Eileen Wuornos, and we're dedicated to the victims of Gary Ridgway. Yeah, he was killing girls. A lot of them were under 18, runaway girls and girls that were out on Pack Highway. He's convicted of over 65 girls, but yet he's sitting over in Walla Walla while Eileen Wuornos was executed by Jeb Bush. I'll say one thing how it was when I was working a lot. I finally just got to the point where I can absolutely understand what she did, and I'm just so glad I didn't go as far as her. I started going down that path. I started viewing like every trick was like my enemy. Yeah. Like, and you know, these girls are like my clients, and I spend an hour like trick. Exactly. Like, oh my God. Man, let's hurry up. Like, yeah. This is like 3 minutes or less, bitch. Yeah. So as you come, get the fuck out.
To think about it, like, that could have been prevented if she was offered, like, some help, maybe some, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of cool what you guys are doing, because you come out here, offer some kind of help. Sometimes that's all it takes is someone just to care. Literally, that's all it will take is someone just to be there, you know, knowing that someone's there.
Right.
A lot of people don't have families. Like, a lot of people are out here because they don't have a choice. Some people think, oh, you just want to get high. You're out here because you want to, you know, some people just don't have nowhere to go, and they think that help is all over the place just because you see a shelter here, a shelter there. No, it's not. It's not like that.
No.
I know when people talk shit, I'll be like, look, until you walked a day, a minute in my shoes, or half the shoes of me and my homegirls, well, I don't even want to hear shit you ain't gonna say nothing to me. I'll pop your tires right now.
Right.
You know, how it is mentally, it's hard. Why do you think they're getting high? They're numbing out. They don't even know what's going on half the time but they're doing what they do to survive, because that's their only option.
Exactly. Okay, I'm Crystal Barr, and what am I supposed to say? No, I'm joking.
We're making a video.
Okay.
About Eileen's, but also about Eileen Wuornos. You know, every one of her tricks, you know, her victims that she killed was like a bad date. And part of what we're asking people is if you know anyone that's ever had a bad date.
Yeah, myself. I was downtown Tacoma. There's like this wooden kind of like bridge per se that a train used to go over, and it's kind of broken down some. I had gotten in a red truck, I remember to this day. He asked how much for ammo, and I told him my price, and of course he didn't have that. He only had $100. So
what was your price?
$250.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, literally, I mean, you're going in my rear.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
usually do that. I was really broke, so I went for it.
Yeah.
Plus, I was dope sick.
Yeah.
I needed some dope. And I usually never got out of my car for dates because it gives them more play, more room to do whatever they want to do. And went against my own rules.
Yeah.
And went underneath that bridge thing, and there he had already given me $100. But we got under there, and he pretty much pushed me down, put my face in the mud, and forcefully fucked me in my ass, excuse my language. And he was trying to choke me out. I felt myself going out, so I don't know how I did it, but somehow I got my hand, and I had fake nails then, but somehow my hand went, I put my hand in between him and I had my hand and put my hand over his head and grabbed him by his eyeball sockets with my nails, and I pulled back. And that was the only way I was able to get him off of me, and I don't know how I did it. It was an odd position I had to put myself in, but you know, you get close to death and your adrenaline gets going, and there's nothing that can explain that. You get so much energy and so much strength and stuff when you're that close to death. And that pretty much is how I got out of that situation, and I ran. And he even tried to stop and offer me a ride afterwards. And I flagged down a police officer that was driving down the road, and I told the police officer I was all muddy and bloody from trying to get away from him running, and the officer says, well, you shouldn't be out here. That was his response.
Wow.
He didn't try to take me to medical or nothing.
Wow.
Told me that if I didn't put myself in that situation, I wouldn't have been in it. He scared the crap out of me. I've never been so scared in my life. I thought I was going to die that night.
And you said that's one of many bad dates.
Yeah, one of many.
And they just get away with it. That's the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Nothing happens to them. Yeah. And it's,
nobody cares. Just
yeah.
like,
It's like, who are you gonna tell? You know what I mean? Like you can't call the cops. The cops are gonna fucking either throw you in jail.
You know, they're very lucky. This is not medieval times, because I truly am a Xena warrior princess, and I would have killed the fuck out of them. So you know, I guess. You know, I am an Aileen Wuornos already, except this is modern times with cameras and video recording.
So yeah, before I would do a gig, like I imagine the worst case scenario, like blood on the walls and like just bad, you know, to mentally prepare myself for the worst case scenario. Because you figure, if you imagine the worst case scenario, then you're prepared for everything in between that and good. You know, like you're prepared for whatever could happen.
Right. The question I'm asking people is, do you know anyone that's ever had a bad date?
So I have a friend who got, you know, into a car with somebody, and like they were trying to get out, mind you, after the fact that they weren't getting paid for what they were supposed to be getting paid for. But main point being is they were trying to get out of the car, and the dude literally had snatched them up by their hair as they're trying to get out. And the whole date in the first place, the experience, apparently, like, she, like, ended up peeing her pants, and, like, he didn't pay her, and she was, like, not trying to do it until, you know, like, you know, that's how it goes. You gotta give me the money first, you know?
Yeah.
And so because he wasn't willing, fucking, she was like, all right, you know, like, trying to dip out, like, I'm good. That's, you know, like, that's not how this works. And he, you know, at that point wasn't having it, and he just raped her, and, you know, basically was like, I'm getting it from you either way. Like, it was just a super fucked up ass situation. I mean, we've all been super worried about her ever since that. But she thankfully had us to turn to for support, and fucking, the thing with Aileen, if she would have had us, or an Aileen's to come to after she first got raped and whatnot, then she would have been able to not been so, you know, mentally, you know, messed up and traumatized. And
do you think that it could have made any difference to her if she had had a place to go like Aileen's?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think she would need to lash out like that she did against the guys, because, you know what I mean? Like, if she had support, like, I don't know, like we do.
Yeah.
Do you think it's entirely possible that she killed 7 different men in 1 year of working every day, and she said that 2 raped her and 5 tried? Do you think that's reasonable? I mean,
most definitely.
Yeah. See how she might get pushed into that.
Mental breakdown is easy to go and have a mental breakdown in those cases. I mean,
yeah.
One right after another doing the same thing, trying to take what's yours and violating you. It's most definitely an everyday thing for prostitutes.
Yeah. What has your involvement with Aileen's been?
My self-esteem is boosted major since I started in Aileen's. A sense of family. I love my sister.
Yeah. Do you think that, so I don't like to say, oh, if Aileen Wuornos had a place like Aileen's, it wouldn't have happened, because I don't know that. But do you think it could have made a difference?
It could have made a big difference because you guys are there to help us, whether it be to help us get off the street and find a better way, or to help us just deal with our daily mishaps. Somebody to talk to, somebody to be able to come and talk to whenever, somebody you can call.
Was it helpful that it was like a women only helping each other?
Most definitely. I mean, female to female, it's easier to talk to a female about something like that than it is to talk to a male, because you get choked up when there's males around when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you don't know when you can and can't talk. You don't know when it's safe or when it's not safe. But with all females, it feels a lot safer.
Yeah.
And we've all had experiences somewhat similar. So we know what each other are going through. It definitely helps.
It was women only.
Women only, yeah.
No men, which is nice because, like, you don't have to listen to some douchebag talking about how great they are and have a place to get to know each other and build each other up and not have that competitive aspect and not feel like you're being judged. And
what's your involvement been with Aileen's?
When Aileen's was first going, like, my biggest thing was, like, I felt like I could just, at any minute, I was super depressed back then, like, and a lot of girls were talking about themselves, like, if they would have died, like, nobody would have even known if it wasn't for Aileen's, like, that feeling's so dark and, like, depressing, fucking, and it brings a lot of, like, importance or meaning to their life. Like, for me, being one of the peer members, like, I felt really needed and really helpful, and seeing all the other girls, like, out there being support for them, like, and Aileen's given me that option because I've never really had anything to offer anybody, but through Aileen's, the first time I actually, like, started feeling like I got respect and, like, looking at, or I just felt a lot more professional and, like, like a lot more, respect for myself and stuff. So
you can go there and relax and just be yourself without having to worry about fucking dudes, or you know what I mean. Just non-judgmental and you don't have to believe in God, or you don't have to, just be judged like all the other places that are out there, like, for girls.
When I joined Peer Leadership, and I felt like I was at home. Basically, in Peer Leadership, we focus on harm reduction and meeting people where they're at, and providing supplies. I've always been really leery of any type of organization that, like, I'm doing this because, like, it always ends up where there's an ulterior motive. And Aileen's is the first place that I didn't feel like there was some ulterior motive or some financial gain that they're getting just for me being there, and all that everyone there genuinely cared about, when somebody didn't show up, but they were always asked about.
So before I leave, I was literally just, I was out there just doing what I had to do to survive every day, and I was not liking it. I've always enjoyed what I do. I enjoy sex work. Before Aileen's, I did not, because I was doing it for the wrong, or I was doing it because I had to eat every day, and I had to. Now I don't. If I didn't want to, I don't have to. I really don't. There's other options, or at least I have that confidence now to go out there and choose and look for other options. You know, I have like a net now, you know, with doing it, and I just, man, I feel so much taller doing it now. Like, man, for real. I'll be walking in the house like, smell my finger.
Oh, right. No, smell my foot.
You need to hold some money, smell it.
Well, okay. Then let's go. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, bye.
I got bit in the ass by I got hit in the ass by something. No, right here. He did his prayer.
Okay, start it over. Okay, right here, Lisa. This is it.
I love that knife.
Look hard.
We're laughing because you're mooning the camera. And
Are you looking at
so
it? You can see it, right? Hello. And look, you signed your life away. We own that ass.
So even though I look pregnant in this dress, apparently it says 4 different people. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different people said I look pregnant.
You know what it is? They're fucking jealous.
Strangers?
They're jealous.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
They're the most jealous of them all. That's why they have to freaking call the police on people for existing. Hi, I saw this bitch outside of Safeway that had like a cute outfit on, and like she looked really tired, so we need to have her go to jail. I already told management and they're on it.
What about your vagina?
What's that? I said I watched a YouTube video about it, but like I really don't know what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, do you want to be called she and her, or do you want to be called he and him? What do you want to be called when I talk about you?
she?
Okay, so you know what you want to be called, and so does everybody
But what
else.
would I call? What would I call somebody like? Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Well, like,
If you don't
it
know
just
their
depends
pronouns,
yeah,
on what
then
they-
you ask them. You just say, hey, what pronoun do you use?
Like I use both pronouns, but people use female pronouns. Like when I talk to my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've done that
because-
before, I'm sorry. But if you always want me to use he with your dad, I will.
Oh yeah. Like it makes it easier to explain what gender fluidity like really is too, because I'm using both pronouns because I like genuinely feel like both pronouns are
in 900
fitting.
feet, the destination is on your left.
So we were talking about Eileen Wuornos, and I was just getting ready to lead into the idea of the bad date.
The audacity that some people have.
Yeah.
It's like just because this is my job right now, like doesn't mean that you can just do anything you want. You can't go to Burger King and order a pizza. Like, why?
Yeah.
Do you think you can like have certain things that I'm offering, and that's what I'm offering? Like,
Yeah, exactly. So tell us more what Peer Leadership was. We started with 10 people, I believe.
yeah.
All people who came to us originally for services. So it's the very people that are being served are the ones that are, you know, becoming the leaders of the organization.
Yeah, and that is another aspect I really like. You know, you always kind of remember where you came from.
Despite what I'm going through right now, I look at myself and give a fuck about myself now. And, you know, like, man, that shit's real big. Because honestly, if I thought about it, I would probably be locked up for a while. Like, close to a long time right now, or halfway dead. So, yeah.
We named our place. We're called Eileen's. We're named after her. Yeah, and the reason is she's like a hero to some of us because she didn't take it anymore.
I've been in situations to where, like, I mean, staying in a jungle when I was in Seattle and being homeless, I was raped, and when I tried to stab the guy with scissors and it still wouldn't work.
Wow.
So, I had a foster dad who did that from when I was, I want to say 12 to 17. Yeah, and the first event was at Western Grocery Deli out in Seattle, Washington, right there off the waterfront, right underneath Pike Place Market. And that's where it happened. And, you know, when that happens, you don't know that you're losing your virginity. Man, like, I don't know. I just give out my heart to all the women out there now that are going through it, that are struggling, that don't have nowhere to go. Just honestly, you got to give it to God. That's all I can say. Like, whether you believe in him or not, like at the end of the day, he's always there, even when you think he's not there. Really, like, just try to get you know, you got to get yourself together, because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna love you more harder than you, yourself, and God. Like, I know your family's probably worried about you. I know your loved ones, if you have kids, they're probably worried about you. But you really just gotta love yourself, because this world is too cold. It's too short. Life is short, especially with coronavirus now. Like, man, just, you know, you can't think of yourself as a victim. Think of yourself as a survivor, because at the end of the day, like, no matter what happened, the worst is the worst. Like, you survived through that. You did. Like, yeah, you're a victim of all them other things, but at the end of the day, like, you're still here.
Yeah.
And so that's a blessing that I take heed in that every day.